I'm Elise Sparks, and I'm in my sophomore year. I am a double major in the music program and the theater program. So in the music program, there are a couple of concentrations. I'm in the CCM program, and that stands for Contemporary Commercial Music. So that's a little bit of pop music, more contemporary musical theater stuff, as opposed to classical music or instrumental. I'm a vocal major. And in theater, I currently don't have a concentration, but I believe next year we're adding a musical theater concentration. So if you like any of that stuff, we are the only college in the Midwest that offers stuff like CCM. So definitely worth checking out. I enjoy the program. There's a lot of new songs that you learn, and we have voice lessons. There's a lot of songs that you can choose. There's a lot of freedom with that. So in the music program here at Parkside, there's a couple more concentrations you can choose from. We have music ed for both instrument and for voice, as well as jazz studies and just a classic performance track. So that's more of the classical music. In theater, we have a couple more concentrations. We have an acting concentration, a DTM, which is the technical design management aspect of theater, such as sound design, lighting design, stage management, and props and costumes. A lot of interesting stuff going on. So how I got involved in music and why I decided to major primarily in music is kind of a funny story. I didn't do choir until my sophomore year of high school, which compared to some of my friends that are also in the music program is kind of late. I was originally a band kid. I started that in 5th grade, started in elementary school when you get to choose whatever instrument you want to do. And I played the baritone horn, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a tuba, just a tiny bit smaller. And I was a very, very small person and played that in marching band for a couple of years. So I did that up until the freshman year of high school, and for whatever reason, I just didn't care for the band class as much as I did in middle school. So I had friends that were in choir, and they were all like, hey, you should join this, you should do this with us. And I was like, I'm not sure. They said it was a pretty easy class, so I was sold. So sophomore year comes, and I was in what was a concert choir. So we did a lot of chorale songs, a lot of Latin, a lot of Italian and German and stuff like that. Very rigid classical songs. But for whatever reason, I fell in love with it and something just clicked. Like, I liked band, but I fell in love with choir. And my junior year, I joined, if any of you are familiar with the Racine area, I went to JIK's high school where we have master singers. So we do caroling and we do more of a show choir performance. So more contemporary songs, more pop songs, a little more fun than just a concert choir. And I was in that with my friends my junior and senior year, and it was incredible. I loved it so much. And also throughout high school, I did musicals. I was active in the theater, didn't take as many theater classes, but I still participated everywhere I could. So the summer before it was time to apply to school, I applied to a couple schools around Wisconsin. I wanted to commute if possible. And I was looking into Parkside, and I had a couple of friends that were going to Parkside. And they were talking, oh, we're going to take music or we're going to take theater. I'm like, those are interesting, but can you make a job out of that? They said yes, so I was like, okay. So I decided to major in music, because up until that point, I had considered everything under the sun. I was a super indecisive child, and all the way back to when I was 6, my first career choice was a vet, and music is very different than taking classes to be a vet than science classes. I had considered trade school, I was considering criminology. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, so I thought music would be a good place to start. I came in with a lot of gen ed credits, so I was in a comfortable position to take a semester or take a year to figure out what I wanted to do. But once I started in the music program, I was sold. That was it. And it's not just learning how to become a better instrumentalist or a better singer or a music teacher, if that's what you're going for. It's the fundamentals. It's how music is created and why, and it's music history, and it's music theory, and it's everything that makes music what it is. It's not just performing. It's everything that builds up to the moment of a performance. So like for the music majors, you take a couple semesters of theory, you take a couple semesters of piano. Those go hand in hand, and having one with the other, they help you learn each other really well. But it's been so interesting learning not only how to sing music better, but why music is the way it is. it's something that's always been pretty interesting for me in the 4 years I've been taking choir. And I'm also a theater major, and in my freshman year, I was just a minor. I had heard it was really difficult to do the two majors together, so I was like, okay, a theater minor, because I wasn't as active in theater as I was in music in high school. So I took an acting class, I took a theater movement class, and I was convinced I was going to pick up a second major. I was like, I have to do this. And so starting this year, I became a double major in music and theater. So I don't have a concentration as of yet, but I'm planning on adding the musical theater concentration, which kind of goes hand in hand with what I do in the CCM track in music. And it's been an incredible experience. If you've ever gone to see a musical or a play, you see the performers, you hear the words, you hear the songs, but knowing what goes on behind the scenes, the set design, the painting, the sound and lighting, it's incredible. It's just like music theater for music. It's what builds up to the performance moment. So this year I was taking a stagecraft class, which we learn construction, we learn painting, we learn stage management, we learn sound and lighting design, and we also have been learning about streaming. Because of COVID, a lot of in-person performances have been canceled or limited. So we have a new class in the theater department, which is a live stream team. So for our last two performances, we've done Romeo and Juliet and the complete works of William Shakespeare. I worked on the complete works of William Shakespeare on the live stream team. So we were working with the technology of cameras, of taking the performance that's going on our stage and sending it out to your computers, to your phones, to your tablets. And working on that was also really interesting. Because of what's going on, there's going to be a lot of new forms and a lot of new ways to do music and theater. So learning how to do that along with everything else I've been learning, it's been an incredible experience. And I'm so, so glad that I chose to go to Parkside. It's not only affordable, we're really diverse. There's everyone under the sun that goes here. We're a huge commuter college. There are some colleges that make you live on campus your freshman year, which Parkside doesn't do that at all. We're about 70% commuter here. Tuition's pretty affordable. I think it's the most affordable in the UW system, as far as my research has proven. For if you're a resident and you're living on campus and you're getting a meal plan and all that jazz, it's about $15,000 for a year, which compared to other places is pretty darn good. And if you're an out-of-state resident, like if you live in Illinois or Michigan or whatever other states are out there, it's about $23,000 a year, which still is not bad compared to other schools in the UW system. So, and we have a beautiful campus too. I love it here. All right, so we had a question about the CCM program. So I touched on you get to choose contemporary songs, pop songs, but there's so much more to it. It's not just you get to sing songs. You get to be in groups that sing these songs. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with the movie Pitch Perfect. It was kind of a bust, not really a big thing. But we have an a cappella group here called the Parkside Range, which I am a part of. And we've done so many wonderful performances, wonderful things. Last year, Parkside is a partner with Haribo, the gummy bear company, and we got to perform at a Christmas party of theirs last year, which was incredible. They loved it. We loved doing it for them. The energy was so there. It was an awesome experience. So right now we're learning a couple of Christmas songs. We're doing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, an arrangement of that, and it's so pretty. We're also doing Sweater Weather, which it's been on the radio, not super recently, but it's there. We do a lot of fun stuff like that. We're doing, if anyone's familiar with the musical Dear Evan Hansen, we're doing Disappear too, which that's such a fun song to do. All of the music, all of the pop, all of the new songs that we have access to do. It's incredible. And in our choir, we have Parkside Chorale, University Chorale. We're starting to do a couple of new songs there. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the musical Rent, but we're doing the reprise of I'll Cover You in our chorale group, which it's been such a great opportunity to learn. The style that we usually sing in choir, we're applying some of the same techniques to learning this song, and it's just a beautiful thing that we're creating. We do some magical pieces, which are kind of cute little ditty songs they did. And we also do some more classical songs. We're doing a older piece called Stompier Foot. It's a piece from, I think, an opera, and it's a fun, lively, very upbeat song. It pokes fun at the stereotypes of men, the stereotypes of women, and it's just an all-around funny song. We are also doing, so we have our commencement graduation that happens every semester. We just recorded the Star Spangled Banner as well as a reworded version of Pomp and Circumstance for that. So instead of singing in person because of these times, we've recorded those songs and those will be played at this commencement, at this graduation. So tons of fun opportunities to do so many things. And the CCM, instead of just doing some of the classical pieces, some of the more traditional chorale pieces, gives you the opportunity to explore outside of that, to do musical theater songs, to do pop songs, indie, folk, rock. You get to choose so many different genres, and it's an incredible, incredible opportunity. I love it. So we had a question about sort of classes outside of music. You have to take a minimum of gen ed courses. There are a couple different categories that you have to choose those from. Most recently, I took a pseudoscience class, and that talks a little bit about what makes science science and what is fake science, such as fallacies. So that's like illogical reasoning and proving yourself with incorrect facts. We talk a little bit about creatures that exist or don't exist and how you prove those, such as a griffin or the hodag, if any of you know what that is. So it's such a cool class to take. And a lot of the gen ed courses here, they're offered during winter or summer, which is super helpful for majors like music and theater.
What do you like about the campus?
So we had, what do I like about the campus? I like that it's a small campus. If we're being honest, I'm kind of a lazy person and I don't like having to walk everywhere. The furthest points of our campus from our RITA, which is the Arts and Humanities building, which include music and theater, all the way to our cafeteria, our Brickstone, it's maybe a 5-minute walk. Like, if you're walking quickly, it's not a large campus, and that means the class sizes aren't super huge either, which, coming from a pretty big high school, some of my classes now are smaller than classes I had in high school, which it gives more time for the professor to work one-on-one with students if they need more help, if they're not understanding a concept. And you get to know your classmates better. Like, right now, it's hard to hang out with people, but being able to see the same people every day, being able to know that they're your friends, not have to face a lecture hall of 110 people, it's great. I like smaller class sizes. I love the size of our campus, and it's beautiful. Like, all of the fall leaves changing right now, we're in a park. Like, our campus, park side, we're in a park. It's beautiful. There's a dog park nearby, which is great if you're super stressed out. You just go and see the puppies. It's amazing. There are tons of trails. There's a frisbee golf, disc golf, frolf is apparently what it's called. There's a frolf course on campus, and you can see people all of the time playing. I've seen people in winter playing, like, just going at it. It's so fun.
About the relationships you've made here.
So we had a question, the relationships and the friendships that I've made here. I honestly have made so many more friends than I thought I was going to. I was pretty nervous going from high school to college. A lot of my friends, a couple did come here, but they're either not in the music program or they've gone to Milwaukee or Carthage or other colleges in the surrounding area. But being part of the groups that I am, like Parkside Range, our a cappella group, and even our university chorale, I get to see these people every day, and you can't help but making friends with everyone. You get to talk about the same stuff because you're all in the same classes, so you never run out of things to talk about. But and even with the faculty, how friendly, how helpful they are, it's not like you're talking to a lecturing professor where there's sometimes a disconnect between the teacher and the person that they are. It's easier to talk to professors here, which makes it a lot easier if you're having difficulties in class, if you're having difficulties in scheduling, and I'm so grateful for the people I've met here.
Some of the COVID safety stuff.
So some of our COVID safety updates. We are following state mandates. We wear a mask. I'm currently not because the only other person in this room is about 20 or 30 feet away from me. But we do wear masks. We have parkside masks available as well. We have our Ranger Restart, we've called it. So there's a lot of new safety precautions. They've done air quality tests, making sure the ventilation is good. They have, if you have a class in a classroom, periods of time where the space has to air out to keep it safe for the next class coming in. There's limited seating in some areas. There's limited in-person performances as well. And in a lot of the classrooms, desks are spread out. You're not crammed up next to each other. You have that 6 feet or more of space in between you and other people. We have limited in-person classes. We only have about 30% in-person or hybrid, which is a mixture of online and in-person classes. And a lot of those are heavily in the music and theater program. But we have a lot of lectures recorded online using some of the same technology we use for live streaming performances. We have a lot of just fully online classes. And even the hybrid classes, there's plenty that you still get from the class, even though it's online.
Can they come to campus?
So we had a question about visiting campus, coming to the campus. You can visit the campus still. If you were touring colleges and you want to know more about here, but the online experience just isn't enough for you, you can schedule a visit in person. So we have those Monday through Friday. You go to uwp.edu/visit, and you can sign up to take a tour there. We have some amazing people that give these tours. I was shadowing one of them because they were walking through my space and I had nothing better to do. So I was interested to learn more about the school. And I did. I go here, but I still found out more stuff about this school. They're so helpful. They point out everything. They answer every question you could have. They're really good at what they do. All right, so apparently we're running out of time. I've been talking way too long, but thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. And if you have any more questions, you can visit the UWP website and also always schedule a visit to tour the campus. Have a wonderful day and stay safe and stay healthy.